Chapter 9, The Living Organism, Characteristics and Habitats. Paheli and Bujo went on vacation to many places of interest. One such trip took them to river Ganga in Rishikesh. They climbed the mountains of the Himalayas, where it was very cold. They saw many kinds of trees on these mountains, oak, pines, and deodars, very different from the ones near their home on the plains. In yet another trip, they traveled to Rajasthan and moved on camels through the hot desert. They collected different kinds of cactus plants from the trip. Finally, they went on a trip to Puri and visited the sea beach, dotted with casuarina trees. While recollecting all the fun that they had on these trips, a thought struck them. All these places were so different from one another. Some were cold, some very hot and dry, and some places so humid, and yet all of them had many organisms, living creatures of various kinds. They tried to think of a place on earth where there may not be living creatures. Bujo thought of places near his home. Inside her house, he tried the cupboards. He had thought that there may not be any living organisms here, but he found one tiny spider in the cupboard. Outside the home, too, there did not seem to be any place he could think of that did not have living creatures of some kind or the other. Figure 9.1. Paheli started thinking and reading about faraway places. She read that people have even found tiny living organisms in the opening of volcanoes, organisms and surroundings where they live. Another thought that occurred to Paheli and Bujo was about the kinds of living organisms that were present in different locations that they had visited. The deserts had camels, the mountains had goats and elk. Puri had some other creatures, crabs on the beach, and such a variety of fish being caught by fishermen at the sea. And then there did seem to be some creatures like ants that were present in all these different locations. The kinds of plants found in each of these regions were so different from the plant of the other regions. What about the surroundings in these different regions? Were they the same? Activity 1. Let us start with forest. Think of all the plants, animals and objects that can be found there. List them in column 1 of table 9.1. List things, animals and plants found in the other region that are also shown in table. You can collect the examples scattered through this chapter to fill table 9.1. Discuss also with your friends, parents and teachers to find more examples to fill the tables. You can also consult many interesting books in libraries that talk of animals, plants and minerals of different regions. Try and include many plants, animals and objects, big and small, in each of the columns in this table. What kind of objects will we find that may not be animals or plants? Perhaps parts of plants like dried leaves or parts of animals like bones. We may also find different kinds of soils and pebbles. Water in the oceans may have salts dissolved in it as discussed in chapter 5. There could be many more objects as we go through the chapter. Keep adding more examples to table 9.1. We will discuss the table as we travel through many more interesting places. Habitat and adaptation. What do you find from the plants and animals listed in activity 1? Did you find a large variety in them? Look at what you have entered in column for the desert and column for the sea in table 9.1. Did you list very different kind of organisms in these two columns? What are the surroundings like in these two regions? In the sea, plants and animals are surrounded by saline, salty water. Most of them use the air dissolved in water. There is very little water available in the desert. It is very hot in the daytime and very cold at night in the desert. The animals and plants of the desert live on the desert soil and breathe air from the surroundings. The sea and the desert are very different surroundings, and we find very different kind of plants and animals in these two regions, isn't it? Let us look at two very different kind of organisms from the desert and see a camel and a fish. The body structure of a camel helps it to survive in desert conditions. Camels have long legs which help to keep their bodies away from the heat of sand. They excrete small amount of urine. Their dung is dry and they do not sweat. Since camels lose very little water from their bodies, they can live for many days without water. Let us look at different kinds of fish. Some of these are shown in figure 9.3. There are so many kinds of fish, but do you see that they all have something common about their shape? All the ones shown here have the streamlined shape that was discussed in chapter 8. This shape helps them move inside water. Fish have slippery scales on their bodies. These scales protect the fish and also help in easy movement through water. We discussed in chapter 8 that fish have flat fins and tails that helps them to change directions and keep their body balanced in water. Gills present in the fish help them to use oxygen dissolved in water. We use that the features of fish help it to live inside water, and the features of camel help it to survive in a desert.